Hello, one and all. It is I, the Backwards Man.
Backwards man, the backwards man, backwards man, the backwards man, the backwards man, the backwards man, backwards man, the backwards.
And today, we finally did it. We are at the grand finale of my Zombies ranking video series. Because now, I'm going to rank them all in one go. I'm going to do this mostly unscripted, nothing too flashy, as I'm just going to briefly cover my overall thoughts and opinions on each map that I discussed in previous videos. Now, before I start, as a point of clarification, I will say why I've been labeling these maps as Ether maps and not just regular Call of Duty Zombies maps. Now, while back in the day, the only Call of Duty Zombies maps were those from the Treyarch games, as time went on, that would not be the case because of games like Advanced and Infinite Warfare and even World War II, because they all made their own different Zombies game modes, which had nothing to do with the OG Zombie storyline, which is called the Ether storyline, henceforth Ether Zombies. Although I guess you could call this list the Treyarch Zombies list because I'm also including the Chaos maps in here, but honestly, that's all mere semantics. But massive respect to user Fragged Spartan for making this list in the first place, and even putting the maps in release order, which is a huge help right there. I think my tiers here are self-explanatory, so enough lollygagging, let's get into this. Alright, starting with the first ever map, Nocturne Toten, I'm going to put you in the Gets the Job Done ranking here. Now, putting this in the Gets the Job Done tier because I think Nocturne Toten is the quintessential Gets the Job Done map. I mean, you go in there, all you have to do is unlock some doors, maybe get a perk if you're playing on a newer version of the map. There's walls, there's wall weapons, there's a box. Pretty basic, pretty cut and dry, but you can go in there and have a good time. You know what I mean? Next up, we have Verrucht, which is going to the fun time section. I think this is a better version of Noct. I think the vibe is definitely cooler and scarier, like the creepy asylum part of it. You have perks, you have a circular layout, you have power. It's like Nocturne Toten, but with more features. Now, Shino Numa, I'm actually going to put behind Noct. While it does have more features than the original Nocturne Toten, I think the layout really kills it for me. The whole X shape and more of a circle guy like in Verrucht. But still good. I just don't think it introduced as much gameplay-wise that Noct or Verrucht did. Did introduce story mode, but the story of a map alone does not make the game fun. Now, speaking of fun, Darius, there is no question here as a top-tier map. Layout's great, the lore is great. The Pack-a-Punch, this is a map that introduced the Pack-a-Punch machine. That and how it was implemented and how you can unlock it with the, there's 3 teleporters you can unlock. It's so intuitive, so well laid out. I gotta put it there. Now we're in the Black Ops 1 maps, and Kino, you're all gonna judge me for this, I don't care. We'll be going right at the tippity top. Because, it's Kino der Toten. I will admit, it's my first Zombies map ever. I'm a little biased, but this layout was perfect. It was basic for my simple brain. It's easy to train, very circular layout. Pack-a-Punch is fun. Teleportation to the stage is fun. There's really nothing too complex about this map. In fact, I think this is the last, 5 is. This and 5 are the last maps without Easter eggs. Which is kind of cool. It's like a last reminder of the nature of the World at War maps, because this was originally going to be in World at War, as I mentioned before. But now we get to 5, the first real Black Ops 1 map. And unfortunately, it's my first lacking map. Now, I think if the map is lacking, it doesn't mean it's completely bad. It just means that, there's something good here. There's just something really big in the way of the map realizing its true potential. And to me, that is it's the layout, and just by nature of how Black Ops Zombies was, with how I think personally the hitboxes were all sorts of screwed up. It made for a very hard, very challenging experience. But at least the aesthetics of the map, it's the fact it's the Pentagon, that makes it cooler. That makes you you want to keep going, you want to keep exploring. But I feel like once you do explore everything, at least with the Black Ops 1 version, with how difficult it is, I don't completely think it's worth it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's worth the difficulty. But that's just me. Now we have Ascension. I think this is a damn good map. This is a damn good map. Um, the thing that I like most about Ascension is actually the process to pack a punch. I think it's cool that you can you fuel up the rocket, right? And the fact that when it goes off, you can either shoot it down or not. It's pretty cool if you do, because then it's a huge fiery explosion. But either way, that's how you get pack a punch. And by doing that, you also learn and unlock different areas of the map, and you become more familiar with it. Um, Story is decent too, but more importantly, this is the first map with an Easter egg. This is when the story really became, important, in my opinion. Oh, and next up we have Call of the Dead. Now, ooh, to be perfectly honest, if I could tie these, I would, but you can't, so I'm not going to. The only reason why I think Call of the Dead is like a hint, like a little bit behind Ascension is that the Pack-a-Punch, it's not in one area, it's in various areas as long as the lighthouse is shining on it, which I don't really think that's cool. I like having to unlock it. I don't like having to find it every time. Um, I don't mind George in this one. I know people say he's like really annoying in this, and as long as I mean, he's a big target. As long as you avoid him, shoot him, you're good. If you do shoot him, you just go in the water, and it'll negate him. This was the first Easter egg I've ever done by myself. I think the layout and the aesthetics of this map are awesome. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And then we have Shangri-La. I think it's a little bit better than 5, but I still think it's lacking. What do I think? I think the layout is slightly better than 5. Um, the idea of being in the Himalayas is cool, but not as cool as the Pentagon. But the way the game plays and kind of the story of Brock and Gary is kind of cool. I also did this Easter egg on PC, which, by the way, is a bitch and a half. Maybe I should put it behind 5. No, I'll put it here because the Chronicles version of Shangri-La is actually quite stunning in its visual department. But now we're going to cap off Black Ops 1 with Moon. Moon, I believe, gets the job done. I think it had potential to be really high up there, but some of the gameplay mechanics, I feel like this map, it didn't have enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the premise of being on the moon is cool enough. It's cool enough. The zero gravity, the fact that you're like in the middle of nowhere on not even Earth, you're just far away from everything else. I think that's cool enough, and how this is where like the storyline, like this has like the coolest Easter egg where you blow up the Earth. That's all cool. However, the reason why it's not lacking though, or it's not lacking because of those reasons, but I feel I think this map is a little annoying to get through. I feel like there's a lot of doors to go through in this map, and they're not like doors where ooh, there's a cool new area. Like it's all towards like the doors all like the pathways all lead to the same area, so it almost feels pointless to open all of them unless you're going for late game. But that's just me. All right, now we're into the era in which I got into zombies, Black Ops 2. Oh boy, and unfortunately, we're not starting off on a hot note because mm, I don't. Oh, do I want to put in Monkey Ass? I look. Transit's a bad map. All right, everyone knows that. But I cannot deny it. The aesthetics, the vibe, the fact that you really are in like a apocalyptic world. You know what I mean? Like everything's all messy and gross and icky and falling apart. I find that really cool. Um, Lore aside, where you learn about what happened to the planet and how people are like getting into groups and they're getting killed off by zombies and how horrible it is. It's so cool to me. Like it's so messy, it's so gritty. But I mean, obviously the way the map's laid out, it's too big. The um, the fact that they had to hide the LODs and they had to spawn things in. They had to hide it with the fog and those little bastard. No, they're not jumping jacks. They're denizens at this time. And the pack a punch is stupid. You have to build that. You have to build the wonder weapon, which will just fall apart. That's all horrible. I will agree with you there. But here's the thing: I'm not ranking town, bus depot, or farm. I'm actually counting those in my rank of transit. And I think town is one of the cooler like beginner maps that you can get in these games. Bus Depot and Farm, I could care less about, but Transit, man, that's with Town. It does raise it above Monkey Ass. Hope you'll forgive my different opinion here. Nuketown Zombies. Ooh. All right, hear me out. Same thing about vibe wise. Same thing about Transit because this is in Nuketown post nuke. You know what I mean? Like so everything's all disgusting and irradiated and destroyed and cataclysmic and that's all cool. And the things that I hate most about Nuketown Zombies is one, the layout, because it's a multiplayer map first, not zombies. It shows, and two, the perks and the pack-a-punch. They're not there. They're not in the map when you start off. Like you have to wait. You have to kill a certain amount of zombies each time to unlock that perk or the pack-a-punch from shooting down from the sky. Um, but it does make for like a fun little map. It's a little fun thing to play once or twice. And you're like, oh, this is actually kind of there's more here than I thought, but it is shallow. Um, all right, but story wise, this is a cool little linchpin of because it takes place during Moon, so you get to hear Richtofen in the radios changing up who's controlling the zombies, and then around 20, the zombie eye color changes, and when the game ends, you see the rockets from Moon destroying the Earth. I said earlier, the lore doesn't really improve gameplay, but it does. For me, it slightly influences it because if I find the story really cool and I can see little hints of that happening in the map, it does kind of that's the same value to me as its aesthetics, if that makes any sense. Um, Never mind that rambling. Now you have Dire Eyes. Okay. Ooh. Honestly, I might keep it here. I might keep it. Again, cool vibe. The apartments that you're into are disgusting shitholes. I love that. I love how messy they feel. The layout is god awful. I hate the layout. I think, as you can tell, if I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where everything is, I don't like that. I like knowing where my things are. Damn it, when I played me some zombies, and the fact that even without the elevators moving the perks and the pack punch, even without that, just the layout is so weird. Like you can't, like if I want to go to a specific area of the building, like where it's like upside down, there's a huge area and it's slanted. Like if I want to get there, I can't intuitively figure that out. Maybe because I'm stupid, true. But like if I have to, what do I say? If I have to look up how to do something, it didn't do its job right. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, Maybe it it pissed me off a little bit, but not as much as a map which I really think is Monkey Ass, which I'll get into with the Black Ops 3. All right, Mob of the Dead. I think everyone can agree with me when I put this right here. I almost put Kino in front, but Mob of the Dead, man, just what can I say? I am a huge fan for a good pack-a-punch process. Like Mob of the Dead, for me, it took a risk. Like I don't, I'm not a big fan of fetch quests. I'm not a big fan of making things complicated, as you know. But I feel like Mob of the Dead took a risk with that, but made the process so much fun that the risk paid off, and thus it is the best. No, spoiler alert, this is the best zombies map out of all these right here. Um, I like that it's all really just one building. It's Alcatraz. You find the plane parts or fuel parts. The Hell's Retriever is really cool, and this is the only zombies map with the AK-47. How weird is that? Like I used to either run that with the MP5 or the Tommy gun because the Tommy gun gets you a lot of points, but the AK it's the AK. It's cool. You pack a punch it. It's Reznov's revenge. I don't know why I think that's really really fascinating. I remember when me and my friends in high school do like airsoft wars, I'd always try to nab me the MP5 and the AK because like, oh look at me, I'm in Mob of the Dead. But I digress. Now I got to Buried. Ooh, man, I got a lot of good memories of Buried, man. I can't put it to top tier. I can't. It's too easy. But damn, this is a good map. It's a damn good map. Like, I know, too easy. Sure, you can cheese this map. You can get like infinite money if you know how to run the bank part. True, I will not deny that. but it's so cool. It's underground. It's an underground town. Everything's all dirty and like wormy and maggoty. Like what happened here? I mean, we find out later what happened, but like, oh, it's so cool, and it reminds me of um, where I'm from. We had so where I grew up. Actually, the town I grew up in actually predated the country, so there are a lot of old little nooks and crannies there. And like when we ever go on like little road trips, we go into areas or um, not they weren't museums. They were like almost like northern flea markets where they'd have all these chairs and little bits of furniture that were from the 1800s. And I always thought that was so cool that something from so far away can look so close to us. Like, jeans were invented, I believe, in the 1800s. It's like we were starting to come towards like the modern day as we know it. I'm sure the Industrial Revolution probably didn't hurt that. But never mind that diatribe. I think Buried is really cool. I think the Pack-a-Punch is cool. That it's in a maze. I think getting free perks from the witch's house is cool. And I am blinded by nostalgia because me and my friends spend God knows how long playing Buried. It is a wonderful map. I love it. And now we have Origins. Origins, boy. Oh boy. I kind of shat on this map when I went over in the ranking, but I think it's cool. I I find World War One very fascinating. I think that's a topic in history. That's a topic in history that doesn't get covered enough. I think the premise for the map, the premise where we get premise, I think is really interesting. How this is like the prime version of the Ultimus characters that we know and love. And to be honest with you, like, so I got into zombies with Mom of the Dead and Barry came out, and I'm like, holy crap, this is really cool. And then the ads for Origins came out. I'm like, oh my god, a World War One zombies map, and it features the characters, like I mentioned before, it features the main characters as we should see them. I I actually had dreams of anticipation for Origins, and not that I was let down, just like I enjoyed Buried and Mob a little bit more. I think the Panzer Soldat is a probably huge detractor from this map. Um, the idea of building staffs, that's cool. I think this map is beautiful. I think it's like one of the most beautiful maps out of this entire list. I just don't love it as much as like other YouTubers do. Now maybe I feel kind of not left out, but it's like people are saying like, oh, this and some other Black Ops 3 maps are like the best of the best. I'm like, man, I wish I could agree. I wish I could, but I just don't. But at the same time, like it is a fun time. It's gorgeous. The um, getting the power going, how you have to go to each and every station. I think that's kind of cool. I love the weapons. I love that when you pack a punch, it's a cool camo. It's like blue and glow in the dark. Love the staffs. It's fun. I think it's fun. Now we get into Black Ops 3. Oh man. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get people to hate me already. All right. I think to me, Shadows of Evil is the most frustrating zombies map for me to talk about. Like again, like with Origins, people praise, they love, they coom over this map. They're all on their knees, saying how good this map is. And I'm thinking like, this is not zombie. This isn't like what I know zombies to be. This is too different. This is too different. This is too Lovecraftian. This is layout is hit or miss to me. I think I do really like the story mode or the story of this map. How it's like a noir, like me some noir stories. Um, but the Apothicon stuff, the Keepers, all that weird ancient looking stuff. This is when, like to me, the aesthetics kind of took away from it. And after a while, because I have played this for years, like um, I am understanding how to play this map. I understand the pack-a-punch process. I understand the layout. I think it's cool that there is a main hub area in this map where it's like in front of each gate they show you like where that perk is by like a broken ball in front of the doorway. I think that's cool. But I remember in college, like between this and the Giant, my friends and I would always play the Giant. Just the way the nature of that map, how simple it was versus Shadows of Evil. I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as I think I would. It gets the job done. Um, Now, the giant isn't here, probably because it's just a redo of Derice. Uh, I would put it right where Derice is. So, easy peasy. Alright, now Der Eisendrache. Der Eisendrache. Where am I going to put you? You know what? I'm actually going to put you right here. I think, one, what do all these maps have in common? They are gorgeous. They are beautiful. In fact, not only is it beautiful, the layout is cool. The premise is cool. You're in a castle in the snowy mountains. You know, you're in one big building, kind of like Mob. You know what I mean? And Pack-a-Punch, while admittedly it does go in 3 different places, you can control where it goes by how you unlock it. I think that's cool. I think the bows, the bow and arrows are cool. The lore behind this map is really cool. Uh, really, man, this is a beautiful map. What can I say? It's fun. It's it's beautiful. It's fun. I think it's very damn good. But here we are, guys. Oh man. Zetsubo no Shima. I think in my Black Ops 3 video I explained perfectly why I don't like this map. I am not going to give Zetsubo any more of my time. Boy, we're done. Instead, let's talk about Gora Krovi. Here we are. Man. I think it's cool to an extent. I think the premise, like I said before, the intro cutscene that really gets you in the mood, like, yeah, you're in Stalingrad. And I really mentioned the Battle of Stalingrad a lot in my videos, don't I? But yeah, how cool is that? And, it's a wrecked, destroyed city. There's zombies, you have dragons, you have robots. Actually, the dragons and the robots kind of take it away from me. Uh, but the thing that kind of detracts it for me, the reason why I find lacking is personally, once I Pack-a-Punched in this map, I didn't really care to keep playing. Nothing else really stuck out to me. Like, this is like the awkward zombies map, like lore-wise and gameplay-wise. Like, yeah, it's cool, but now what? You know? But let us cap Black Ops 3 with Revelations. And I put Revelations right here. I think Moon had a cooler concept, but there is more things to do than Noct. Like, it is the clip show, like I mentioned before, it is the Simpsons clip show of Call of Duty Zombies. I think that's a cool premise, how you can, bounce from map to other map. Like, how weird would it be to have, like, a giant zombies map with every single map connected to it? It would play for shit, I guarantee you that. But I think this is cool. And you can't get lost. You cannot get lost in Revelations, because everything is so different looking. Pack-a-Punch is cool. You shoot down a big old beast, and then you go inside of his mouth, you get vored by him, and you shoot down some things, and blah, blah, blah. You get Pack-a-Punch. It's all cool. I just think that there really isn't too much that is original in Revelations. That, it's cool that I got from other zombies maps. Like, what we got here? We got Noct, a little bit of, I believe there's Shino Numa? I don't remember. I got a little bit of Mob, a little bit of Kino, a hint of Buried. Yeah, you definitely have Der Eisendrache. Definitely have Verrectin Origins. I think you get a little bit of Shangri-La. I don't remember, but you get like a little, bits and pieces of other maps. That's cool, but it's like all these other maps. They're original. The premise is cool, but I can't, in good conscience, place it any higher. You know what I mean? Alright, I feel like with each successing game we talk about, the longer I take talking about it. Here we are. Black Ops 4, the last one. Blood of the Dead. A very controversial map. Where am I going to put you, my friend? Oh boy, I'm going to piss off some people right here. Yeah. Look, I should put in lacking, honestly, but at the same time, it's a lighter... It's Mob of the Dead light. Sure, what they took away was kind of... It's bad what they took away. The Pack-a-Punch process got castrated, and the things that they added were kind of boring. But it's a lighter version of the best map ever. I think that kind of elevates it above some of these others. I think I can live with that. Classified. Alright, Classified. I'm actually going to put you a little higher than I think. I think this is 5, I think this is 5 done right. With the exception of the aesthetics, because everything is all destroyed, versus in 5 where everything's all new and shiny, and I think that actually makes what happens scarier than everything already being scary. If that makes any sense. I think this is what 5 should have been. I think the added rooms are cool. I think the Pack-a-Punch, while pretty much being the same thing, you actually teleport to Groom Lake, which I think is interesting. The lore, which, the lore in all of Black Ops 4 always adds on to other things, but you learn a lot. You learn a lot. You learn about what happens to Ultimus after Moon. You learn about how Broken Arrow was made. It's just, I think this is, like I keep saying before, like I said, the way the layout is, the way the zombies are implemented in Black Ops 4, I think this is the perfect version of 5. I will be saying that until they remake 5 in the Steam Workshop of Black Ops 3, which I'm pretty sure they're close to finishing. Uh, Alpha Omega. Okay, this is a genuine lacking map. Hold on a second. Just remembered, in my video I said this is better than Nuketown Zombies. Well, Alright. Let me think about this. Nuketown is a cute little fun map. Not really much to it. Alpha Omega, there's more in Nuketown, but not really anything substantial. You know what? I'm gonna change. I'm actually gonna, instead of bringing this guy up, I'm actually gonna bring Nuketown down. Like, Alright, here's what I think. I think Nuketown Zombies. If you're playing on PC, if you have Plutonium, Black Ops 2 Plutonium, and if you have the mod where you play Black Ops 2 as if you're playing Cold War, the way the HUD and the health and the zombies work, I think that is a lot of fun on Nuketown Zombies. But obviously, if you're playing on console, you're playing regular PC, there's really not much going. I think this actually is this is a lacking map after giving it some thought. Alpha Omega, while adding a lot more to Nuketown Zombies, doesn't feel like much. It's this, but with more rooms. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential with Alpha Omega, which was not realized. But never mind that. Last in the Aether, Zori. Alright, is it Ether or Aether? You guys tell me in the comments. Last of those maps, we have Tag Dare Toten. And I'm going to put you in the fun time area. Yeah, man. I think this is probably the best of the Ether Black Ops 4 maps, like I said in the other video. I don't it's Call of the Dead. It's a newer Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead, I think, was better with the atmosphere, how you're in the middle of a frozen hellscape, whereas Tiger Totem, it's a pretty sunset. Which of course makes sense because you're in the sunset of the story, like I mentioned before, but also I feel with this generation of graphics, hear me on this tirade. I think this generation of graphics, they're more interested in making things look pretty and beautiful versus using your graphics to make a creepy vibe. I think the aesthetics of the olden days kind of trump the aesthetics of the newer days because they had limited resources and were able to make something creepy. They could control your mood versus we have all these cool technologies like ray tracing and anti-aliasing and whatever that one is that makes the skin look cooler. So we're going to use those to make a cool, pretty looking map. And I'm just talking about looks aside. The new rooms they added tag were decent. I think Tag Totem had a missed opportunity for a cooler pack-a-punch process. Like I mentioned before, I don't like what they did in Misty. I feel Origins is better. I feel Origins is one more original, and two is more well-rounded. I think. But now we get to the Chaos maps. Here we are. We have Voyage of Despair. I'm going to put you right here. I think the layout is barely better than 5. Barely. But not by much. I think the map is just not well constructed. Um, it's based off a real life location, so you're kind of at that mercy. The hallways are they're too narrow, they're too crowded. And for some, like the map isn't that big, but there's teleportation in it. Like I don't think that's really necessary. Maybe it's that way to counter the narrow hallways, but I'm not, like I'm not a big fan of this map. However, 9. I'm gonna put you right here. In fact, maybe. Damn. This might be a thing where in my brain, Darius and Draka and 9 tie. Maybe 9's too easy. I like 9 because I think it's well laid out. It's a circle, kind of. And everything is so intuitive. The pack punch process is really cool. How you can, you have to challenge these 4 challengers for these gods. You kill them, you take their bloody, decapitated heads and put them on a pike. Then you block pack punch that way. It's kind of cool to me. But I think Darius and Draka might win because there's more to Darius and Draka. I think 9 is it is a top map, like a top 10 map. In fact, as of right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's a top 10 map. But it's really nothing. I think it's cool for Black Ops 4. Like if you're playing Black Ops 4, this is a map you should definitely try and play. But compared to these, it's not as good. I don't think. Dead of the Night. Boo, haunted house. Lacking. High lacking, but lacking all the same. Premise is really cool. I like how there's other creatures, vampire. I'm sorry, it's vampires. There's werewolves. It's a haunted house, more or less. It's a haunted mansion. Although it doesn't look that haunted. I think you could improve this map by 1, making the pack punch process less annoying. Like I feel like I shouldn't need to have an encyclopedic knowledge of the layout of the map. Like if I'm looking at when they're showing the visions of the items where we need to go, they'll show like a clock, and I'm like, okay, if it's a grandfather clock, there should only be 1 area, but no, it's like 3, it's like 2 other clocks, and I'm like, okay, well, where the hell are these things? I don't know this map on the back of my hand. Like this could be buried or Mob of the Dead, and I still wouldn't. I feel like that little gimmick is kind of lazy. You know what I mean? Maybe make the haunted house haunted. So if it's a giant mansion, maybe just make it like make it almost like how it was in Buried. It's like all dark and creepy and run down. I think that would have been cooler. But that's just me. Ancient Evil. Ancient Evil. Ancient Evil. What can I do about Ancient Evil? I'm gonna put you right here. It's cool. It's a cool underground ancient city map. I think the kind of reminds me of like learning about ancient Greek, ancient Roman architecture. Pack-a-Punch is kind of fun. You get to ride Pegasus. But to be perfectly honest, like I don't really care much about this map. I find it more fun than Shadows. I think it's more well out than Dead of the Night, but I just don't care about it. Maybe it's because it's a culmination of the Chaos story, but I don't know. It's cool. I'm just not passionate about it. Yeah, nothing says climactic like ending a ranking by saying I don't really care much about this map. This is my ranking of the zombies maps. Now, I'm not going to rank any of these because 1, these I kind of count these in transit, and the Cold War maps I don't want to touch those because while I find them fun, I don't want to make a video series on Cold War and Vanguard because I do not care about the storyline of those games. But really quickly, Town. One of the best starter maps. If this was separate from Transit, maybe. Well, the lava is kind of annoying, but I'd put it pretty high. I think one of these three. Buzz Depot, I could give a shit about. I think there's really not much to the map. Maybe put in lacking. I don't hate it enough to put in monkey ass, but there's really not much to it. And same with farm. Like farm has some area, but it's just like this is just what's an area that we didn't really make a zombies map out of? Like they made town from transit. They made Bus Depot from transit. Those two kind of make sense, but farm, I feel like they're just taking the scraps of what they didn't take and made that its own map. If that makes any sense. Probably not. But the Cold War maps. I remember so I kind of have a little mixed feeling about Cold War zombies because when this bitch came out in PC, it kept crashing my stuff. It never ran well on my PC. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe the game wasn't optimized right. Maybe I didn't do the software in my graphics driver properly. It could be anything. But Die Machine, D Machine, how you pronounce it. Me and my friends had a lot of fun on this map. It's an expanded Nocturne and Toten, but it's cool. I mean, I do like the mechanics of Cold War zombies. It's not where this is like such a 180 away from how it started. Like you can pick your own gun, you pick your own upgrade, pick your own like you can upgrade your perks, you can upgrade everything. It's not what zombies was meant to be, but it is fun. I will admit, it is fun. D Machine was a good way to get us back into that mode. Firebase Z, or as you weirdos call it, Firebase Z. Could care less about it, honestly. It's kind of a boring. It's like a multiplayer map, but no, it just feels bland, in my opinion. Mauer to Toten. Okay, so there was a map in the Steam Workshop for Black Ops 3. I think it was like Kowloon. Okay, it was a zombies version of the multiplayer map Kowloon, right? Where you start off on rooftops and you unlock doors, and it even like, if I remember correctly, it even played like Cold War. And then Mauer to Toten came out, and it was so damn near identical. I mean, it was in Berlin, not Vietnam, but it was so eerily similar. It played all right. I mean, you're playing zombies in the city. I don't think we've ever really done that properly, but it's I like it more in Firebase, I think. Outbreak. I'll get to Outbreak in a second, but the last map was Forsaken. Of all the four maps here, I actually like this one the most. In Cold War, there was a mission where you go into like the Soviet superstructure thing where it's like a recreated American town where the Soviets would like train on if they ever need to invade or something. And it's that, but zombies. Like you go into the area, it's like it's like a cleaner Nuketown almost. I found that really cool. But now I don't know why there's two Forsakens, but Outbreak. So Outbreak was okay. So the premise of Outbreak was take zombies, but on a larger scale, like a larger map. It took like these fire team. Was that the game mode? They took these fire team and combined arms maps, which were basically larger multiplayer maps, Cold War multiplayer. They took those maps and they just repurposed them for zombies. And for whatever reason, I found this game mode really, really fun. I feel like this is what Cold War Zombies should have been, with the whole new like scrap system, the way they changed the game mode. I think Outbreak was how it was supposed to be. You don't really unlock anything. You just go through the map, kill zombies, kill these big creatures, pack a punch, unlock points, and you either survive the round or you, just like on all these other Cold War maps, you either survive the round or you exfil. Me and my friends had a lot of fun on Outbreak. I spent God knows how much time on Outbreak. And the cool thing about Cold War Zombies was, because I wasn't too big of a fan of multiplayer, you play zombies. you rank up everything. Like there is no multiplayer and there's no zombies ranking system like in Black Ops 3 and 4. No, if you rank up in zombies, you rank up in the multiplayer. And not just in Cold War. If you're playing Vanguard or Modern Warfare 19, you rank up in that as well. And that also goes for if you have the season pass and if you have the battle pass, where the hell it's called, you also unlock things that way. I think that system was really, really cool. And Outbreak made that even better for me. But that's just those are my extra thoughts. Like I said before, I will not cover ranking these maps or Vanguard or even the story of them because I personally find the story to be really boring. Like in these, you find radios, you find clues on the walls and whatever in the map. Here, like you have to read it. Like you unlock logs, you have to read. That's so boring and lackluster. Even though it is slightly connected to this, it's boring. I don't like it. Alright, now, if you made it this far into my rambling, may the Lord God bless you, all the gods. I greatly appreciate you joining me on this little adventure, these rankings. This was a lot of fun to do. I find the Call of Duty Zombies game mode and story very, very fun and interesting, as if you couldn't tell. I'm thinking about making like I think I mentioned this before, but forgive me for the repetition. I'm thinking of doing a story synopsis of the zombies, of the Ether storyline. Like, there are really good videos out there that cover in great detail the story from Nocturne Toten to Tag der Toten. But I want to make a video where it's that, but short. I want someone to watch my video and get the bare essentials of the story mode. When they go to play the other maps, they're like, huh, that's actually really cool. I never noticed that. That makes a lot of sense. Or, this is cool. I'm going to look into this later on. And I would go by order of map release, which there'll be some flip flopping, of course, but it's just something I'm thinking about. If you're interested, let me know. If not, well, I still might make the video anyway. But until then, once again, thank you so much for watching this entire series, joining me on this grand adventure. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.